Hi guys, welcome back to another Overthrow Disc Golf video. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I wanted to give you a drill progression on coiling. The centered coil is super important. It's gonna mess up your brace, it's gonna mess up your angle control, it's gonna mess up so much about your throw if you're not centered in good posture, coiling back. So I've got a progression for you today to solve that problem. Things you will need, something like this. It needs to be kind of light. It could be a badminton racket, golf club, something like that. And you need some space to swing it around in. So grab that and I'll see you after the intro. Drop. First, let me show you the problems. Okay, so I usually see students when they coil, they can be in a position maybe like this, where they're no longer centered. The head's kind of back this way, or they might be in a position that looks like this, okay, where you got this right shoulder kind of up above the left. What we see with pros is usually they're in a position that looks like this, where their head is centered above their belly button and between their legs. I would call this the A-frame, right? So you've got your feet and you've got your head finishing up the A. Okay, so I break down this position into a couple things. So when we talk about coil, we're talking about a rotation, a twist of the trunk, and we're talking about a tilt, where when we get in our athletic stance with our knees bent, our butt out, our chest is gonna be over our knees, so I would call this being over the shot, and that tilt is also gonna be centered. So the tilt's not like this, where my head's over my back foot and my head is way far away from my belly button, right? My head is gonna stay above my belly button almost at all times. We see some variation on this when pros are going to throw like really high, because you have to kind of tilt the whole unit back. But for the most part, if your goal was to stay centered, you'd be in really great shape. That's three things that we want. We want tilt made by our posture. We want to rotate, and we want to stay centered, our head over our belly button when we rotate back or when we coil back. If we do those things properly, we get in that position that we see A, B in. And then we get this kind of, when you coil, we can see from the back, if you're a righty, that your right shoulder is below your left. If you're a lefty, it's gonna be your left shoulder below your right, instead of what we saw with the amateur examples, where they're all even up top kind of the whole time. And then the head moving. So that's the problem. What's the solution? Well, I've got a drill progression for you that will help you get into the correct positions. Okay, I'm gonna take the Coaching Tube 3000. I'm gonna take this and just keep this here. I don't know why this works, but for some reason, people have a very strong visual about golf or baseball. So I'm gonna start here with two hands on the stick. Doesn't have to be super professional here. And then I'm gonna trace the ground all the way. I'm gonna act like this is kind of like my golf ball teed up, and I'm gonna take it back two hands. And notice when you take it back and you trace the ground, that you get your lead shoulder, which is my right, you get your lead shoulder kind of swinging underneath your trail shoulder, which is my left, right? So this coil, if I can keep my head here, keep my belly button here, when I do that, I get in a position like this. This position looks a lot like golf, but would I surprise you if I said it also looks a lot like disc golf? See, very similar. I just straighten out my arm, and now doesn't this look kind of similar to what AB's doing? So I usually have students go back with two hands on whatever household item you decided to grab, because it's two hands in the disc golf backswing back, so we get everything going back together. And then from here, I want you to keep your head and your belly button right here, and then swing. So two hands back, then you can let go with your trail hand, just leave it there, swing forward only with your lead hand. Probably gonna be pretty natural that this drops. I don't want you forcing it down and tilting this whole unit like this. We're not trying to change this. Creates the problem where my head's no longer centered, right? So I'm gonna try to keep my head over my belly button the whole time. Means I don't want a huge punch here that rocks that whole system up. So here, two hands back, one hand forward, good to go. Tracing the ground, don't go like this, because then we get in that problem. This is how people get in the problem with their disc golf swing, is they'll go here, and then they'll go over top. like this way. And they'll like bunny hop this sucker. Just trace the ground, let it swing underneath. One hand. Now with a disc. Okay, we're gonna take this disc back with 2 hands, right? And yes, I'm gonna get in this position. Now, when you get in this position at home, people have a lot of concerns. Well, aren't I going to swoop? Aren't I gonna throw on a lot of hyzer? How will I throw anhyzer? This is a drill. This is a drill to feel the coil of the shoulders. You can get your arm moving correctly on the way back later, but for now, just get the coil of the shoulders. I understand. You're not gonna do this long enough to make this a permanent form. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here in this drill, we're gonna grab the coil, we're gonna latch onto that feel, and then we're gonna move it into a normal plane. But if you gotta throw a couple hyzers in the beginning to get good coil, that is worth the sacrifice, in my opinion. And if you got a tournament next weekend, you can't afford to do that, don't be doing this drill right now. So 2 hands back, and now I'm gonna practice my 1 hand forward, 2 hands back, 1 hand forward. Okay, here we go. With the throw now, 2 hands back, 1 hand forward, 2 hands back, 1 hand forward. And when I do these drills, I like to grab something flippy when I'm doing hyzer drills so I don't have to worry about kind of losing it. You might have a season where you have extra flippy stuff in your bag when you're working on a good tilted coil here, and that's fine. Personally, I did it for a month when I was working on it, and then at the end of the month, I said, okay, that was enough practice for me. Okay, here we go. 2 hands. Yes, we still have those in the shop. Okay, now this time, I'm gonna go underneath, but I'm gonna let my hand go here. Okay, I still wanna focus on this swinging under like this. Okay, so I can make sure I stay on this tilt. I still wanna make sure that my head's centered. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the next part, just do it in one motion. All right, so now with the walk up, gonna try to get that same kind of feel here. If you need to go to the stick and you wanna kind of reverse Happy Gilmore this thing, to get the feel, do that. All right, so my walkthrough swing here. Okay, that feels right. 2 hands back. Felt like what I was going for. I'll try to make it less swoopy now. Good. Now, of course, with drill progressions, you want to work that into accuracy at some point, right? Before, I was telling you, hey, forget accuracy. Who cares? Now, we need to focus out there and try to blend this into actual throws. All right, so I'm just gonna try to go straight through that net here. Give it a little practice feel. 2 back, 1 forward. Hopefully by this point that's ingrained. Over it. It's great for a mid shot. Let's try to hit the top crossbar. Just kind of standard launch angle, but I'm not spraying left and right. All right, guys, that is gonna wrap it up for this drill progression. I use this, like I said, a lot in my daily form reviews. If you wanna be a part of that team, go ahead and look at the pinned comment. We're gonna have the link for our website and our coaching there. Look me up or look up one of our other coaches. Either way, all the best when you're practicing. Peace out.